Hey, this is John with Cardio Quip. Got people asking me how to change the hoses on their cooler heater. Our hoses use this kind of a larger than normal 90-degree elbow. This is not the same connector we have in our hose, it's a smaller version. But this is the connector, this is that 90-degree elbow, and it's actually larger than a standard hose barb, so you can't just pull the hose off. I have a clear hose on this one. Our actual hose kits right now have a reinforced hose, which is even more difficult to work with than this, but I wanted to use this so you could kind of see better what I'm doing when I pull this thing off. What you don't want to do is, the typical way is to just slice down the tubing and pull it off. Well, that's going to put a gouge in the connector so that you really can't use it anymore. So what I recommend doing is taking it and take your knife blade. A scalpel is probably better because it's going to be sharper than even my knife, and just work the tip of the knife under that plastic. Okay, and keep it kind of flat so that you're not cutting into, and of course, the Boy Scout mantra, always cut away from yourself, and just work that knife blade down there and cut the tubing that way. That way you don't damage the connector and you can pull it right off. Now, what I recommend, instead of replacing it with the reinforced tubing, which you're welcome to do if you want to, if you do that, you're going to have to use probably a heat gun to heat the stuff up and then push it on. What I would do is contact us, and we can either we'll sell you some tubing, or we can give you the source for the tubing. We use an antimicrobial tubing. It's a clear tubing, but it's a thicker, it's an 1/8 inch thick, it's plenty heavy duty, and it's impregnated with a silver compound that will keep that tubing from forming any biofilm inside it. So it'll help keep the water quality better inside the tubing. It should last a little longer. And that stuff is a little more flexible, and it's easier to shove it onto this thing. You just wet it, shoot, worst case, just use a little bit of the surgical pookie and get that on there, and then go ahead and put a hose clamp on it, and you should be in good shape.